Hello everyone to a new video on this channel. It's the Speed Force Racing League for the fourth round of the season at Azerbaijan, where I will this time be reserving in the Williams. And first of all, sorry that I don't have footage from the qualifying as my footage didn't record. But the 5 lights are on right now on the wet Baku Grand Prix. And we are off, and we have a quite an okay start, and that's we cannot say the same about Aston Martin, who braked later than me, but was going 3 wide into turn 1, and I'm still alongside the Aston Martin, but brake later, and the Ferrari behind me gave me a tap on the rear, and I had a slight worse exit than the Ferrari, and he uses a bit more ERS than me and lunged it down the inside of turn 3, but I have the traction coming out of turn 3, but he brakes later for turn 4, and so we are still side by side through the streets of Baku. And will it be the same for turn 5? No, he dived to the inside, but I did the switch back for turn 6, and it looked like that I had the position, but I didn't want to go side by side going into the castle, so I let the Ferrari by, and Esteban Morris was quite slow. X-Gamer had a little bit of a look into the castle section, but backed out of it, so that was a really smart choice. And also the top 2 are already drifting away, so that's a positive. But X-Gamer made an avoidable action on Morris, which was pretty much the best thing I could ever wish, because I had the podium position and had a pretty big gap to the 4th car trench. But on these intermediates I was faster than my former teammate in race 1, Schwab. But as you can see here on the main straight, I couldn't get any closer. That was a really big problem, because I was faster through the corners and on traction zones, but I just didn't have the top speed I really needed on this track. But here Schwab made a mistake, so I tried to launch it down the inside, but Schwab didn't give up, so we were going side by side go through the last technical corners, but I didn't want to risk that much, so I backed out of it. And the same issue, the straight line speed of Schwab was better than me, so I had to stick down for P3. But you just saw the problem. I couldn't get any closer, like you don't having DRS. And on lap 8 I made a mistake, losing the rear slightly bit, and luckily enough I didn't crash into the wall and had front wing damage, so it was quite a nice save, to be fair. But as you can see now, it's really tight on the main straight, and I was panicking a lot to not get disqualified and not lose many time. But I was lucky that the field was quite spread out, so I did only lose 2 positions. So I'm now in P6, but and the first year came out for my accident, which is pretty late, to be honest. But I saw that Senna and Luke Bailey were far away from me, so I could only just do my own my own race, to be honest. At the end of lap 10 it was good enough to switch to the slick tires, so we will now go on to the mediums and go to the end.
Go now.
But as you can see, if you are the Williams team of Baku, the crew sends you right up onto the track. So I was really lucky to not get a 5-second time penalty.
Old mediums. Their tires are 9
and
laps
as
old. The time
and
lapse
I
is
was
zone 1
like
or 2.3
just
seconds.
finished like this, but on the we are now going to lap 22
Check
where
your
my teammate
HID
makes
for
a pit
emission
stop, but there is also a safety car because X-Gamer has crashed. And so the safety car comes out with 5 laps to go, so we will pit for a fresh set of softs to maybe have a podium chance. But at this point I forgot about the way the team sends you out of the pits. So I was aware of that when I was sent out by a team. So I put on a fresh set of softs and
Go, go.
I brake as much as I could and just crossed the wide exit line, which gave me a 5-second time penalty, which was quite ridiculous. My point of view, as in the first pit stop I crossed the wide exit line by a long way. So we're now having the restart with only 2 laps left in the race. And I tried to have a look at Senna, but he also had more straight line speed than me.
Safety car right now.
So I had to come to the conclusion that the wings I was running was too high, because this is a wet setup I was running, but it was quite good over both conditions, which is the best way possible.
There's 4 laps of fuel remaining.
And
This is
at
your
the
final
end
lap.
of lap 25 and starting the final lap, you see that I approach back markers, but that's my teammate who didn't got out of the way, which annoyed Senna a bit. Me not really, because I'm a reserve, so I'm not having too much to worry about. But we now are on the final straight, and Carl Rob wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, where I will finish at this moment P4, but I will drop down due to my 5-second time penalty to 5th. And this is the podium, which is dominated by the Ferrari engine, with Carl Rob winning, TRT Trench finishing 2nd, and Senna Martins finishing in P3. And the 4th place was also a Ferrari engine with Leon Bailey, and I finished myself in P5. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you by my next video. So goodbye.